Ben, I met a few years ago when he came into my office, having been served with divorce papers after how many years of marriage?
21.
21 years of marriage, in a state of shock about the situation. 2 children that were teenagers.
So, got into the process, and as she alluded to, and I got to give Gabe credit for this one. If you don't laugh, you're going to cry. So, it is actually very serious business on this whole operation. And the Family Innocence Project, the nonprofit dedicated to keeping families out of court. And the only thing I can think of is, in talking to Debbie, the system is broken. And just the whole system is designed, and many law firms are designed just to grind the system or to provide friction, and the friction provides billable hours. And the only thing that gets broke is the parents' wallets. And it creates animosity and friction and actually hate. And that spills down to the kids, so I don't see anything really good about the whole process. So I try to figure out why the system was broken. And it's kind of, what I figure is it's kind of based on fear. And we're kind of fighting for your life or fighting for your kids, and everyone kind of gets down to that primal instinct. And especially the case of my ex's law firm generated a lot of money, and I think the only thing funny is when they wanted us to pay, or they wanted me to pay several thousands of dollars of her costs, and they were generating, I think it was Debbie, I don't think her attorney had another client, because they were sending stuff by the minute, and every time that they came across, you might as well throw a $100 bill out the window. What it comes down to, if the primal instinct of fear, which is kind of fueled by the process, and if we evolve as humans, the system should evolve. And what I got from the fear thing is, I stole this from a gal named Tara Branch, and she described it like that. This is your brainstem and your cortex. It's kind of a one-way street. And she described it as either fight or flight. And if you're fighting for your life, there's only 2 answers. And then what she proposed, and this might be part of the process, is, I kind of ran this by Michelle, but it's been kind of crazy for both of us here lately. She took that same brainstem and closed her hand. So you've got a process where you evolve, and instead of fight or flight, she called it amend and befriend. And if we can evolve as humans, I think the court system can evolve as well. The other thing I kind of noticed, and I've heard this before at church a long time ago, you kind of give up because everything's broken. It's so big you can't fix it. But if you can just fix your little part, you can make a difference. And if you look over history, the big paradigm shifts in history weren't done by a huge group. They're usually done by one person. Gandhi comes to mind. I wrote a couple of them down here, but I can't even read my own writing. Sir Isaac Newton. What I wrote down here is we want to move from the fight or flight, the anger, the aggrieved, the obsessed, the fighting, to more an awareness, a kindness, a spirituality, if you will, for who's right and who's wrong, and they're the enemy, to more of a mediated kind of settlement. Again, I kind of took something from a Jesuit priest. His name is Anthony de Mello, and he's a Jesuit priest of Indian descent. He's kind of mixed Catholicism and the ancient arts. And I kind of took something from him, and the client came out. This is the client, but the visitor came in and said, "My life is like broken glass, and my soul is filled with evil. Is there any hope for me?" And yes, said the master, there's something where each broken thing is born again and every piece made clear. And the client said, "What is that?" And the master said, "Forgiveness." And the client said, "Who do we forgive?" And the answer was, everyone. Life, God, your spouse, and especially yourself. And the client asked, "Well, how is that done?" And the answer he gave was by understanding that no one is to blame. No one. So I think that's what we're kind of trying to do here, is take the blame and the finger pointing. When people point fingers, they point it at someone else, and sometimes we need to point it at ourselves. And in the end, the love you take is equal to the love that you make. So, the show said I only had to do 4 sentences. So, hi, my name's Ben Dietermann. Welcome to Wildcats.
Thank you, Ben Dietermann, everybody.